Hello friends, my intro got corrupted, so this is how I'm going to be making it, and I'm too lazy to get ready because it is hot outside. Anyways, thank you for clicking on this video, I really appreciate it, and let's just get started. As you can see in the title, I'm going to be studying two languages. The two languages are Korean and Japanese. I've decided that I'm going to restart Japanese and take it seriously this time, and another thing I decided to do was learn Japanese and Korean, at least for the beginning, and then I want to start learning Japanese and Japanese like I'm doing with Korean. But for today's study session, I do have a challenge for myself. The challenge is to not use any English, meaning no English explanations when looking up stuff, no English definitions, no English nada. Just try to learn the languages in my target languages. I did prep and plan everything that I want to do today, so let's just get right into it. Alright, to start off our Japanese studies for today, I'm going to be watching one episode of Chainsaw Man. I have been watching with Korean subs because it's the only subs available anyway. However, now I'm going to try to watch an episode without any subs, just immerse myself in the Japanese. This monster really said itadakimasu, which is 잘 먹겠습니다. That's insane. So the anime did finish a little quicker than I expected, so I decided that I'm going to watch the last 15 minutes of this episode. This show is a YouTube series called Love Power Kingdom, and it's basically a dating show where the contestants date and then they get ranked at the end of each date, and depending on where you rank, you either stay in the game or you leave. That's as far as I understand anyway, so let's just keep watching. 혼돈이, I know this one. 혼돈이 means 진짜. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. Akane? Is that her name? Akare or Akane? これは Queen Warrior. Nihyo, I guess I'm gonna assume Nihyo is 5, 6. So I ended up watching another episode, making that about an hour of immersion, and that's half an hour more than I was planning on doing, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm very interested in this dating show, and I probably will watch more when I wake up in the morning. But for now, I'm going to do some lessons. 3 weeks ago when I decided to learn Japanese and Korean, I had looked up books to do so, and I found 3 books from the same company. One is for vocab, depending on like topics, so like school, work, stuff like that. The second one is for kanji, so you can learn kanji basically, and it gives you like example words and sentences as well. And then the third one is for daily phrases, and so I decided that I'm going to do 3 lessons tonight for the daily phrases. Audio is free online as well. I'm going to put it down in the description below. As for the books, I just looked up 한국어로 일본어 배우기. I searched that up on Google, looked up these books online, and then found them. Ended up having to download the audios from the website because the website is not working. Again, it's all free and downloadable. 何がお好きですか? 何がお好きですか? 好きですくらい大してでも좋아하시마스. 일본 사람들은 싫어하는 사람이라도 인사는 해요. This is how far we got with lesson 1. Red because I could not guess it. Anata, I got it. And now we're gonna start with day 66 and go into day 67 because they're opposite. 勉強が嫌いです. 勉強が好きです. 私勉強が好きです. My handwriting in Japanese is a mess. Okay, so I finished the lessons for today from my daily phrase book. I'm looking and safe for thinking that I could finish the rest of my studies tonight without any sleep. No, I cannot. I am shaking, not feeling too good. So I'm gonna go to sleep and then I'll finish the rest of my studies in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Hello everyone. I'm back at my desk and I finished studying out, and so now I'm going to continue with my Japanese studies. The first thing I'm going to do this morning is write down the phrases that I learned that I want to use the most in my notebook so I can kind of review them. One episode of Black Butler, which is one of my favorite animes of all time. My notebook and my notes. This is my handwriting so far. I feel like it looks a little better today. I'm going to attempt this kanji without ever seeing it before. Oh my goodness, where do I even start? Do I start the line to cross? I wonder if there's a rule to this. How's my attempt? It looks like a mess. My short list of notes are done. Some short grammar points. Well, not really grammar points. And then vocab and phrases. So yesterday while I was prepping for my studies, I found out that Naver Dictionary has like a Japanese focused dictionary section. And then there's also a section for word books. Word books are basically like a list of words they give you based on like level. So like for the English speaker one, it'd be based on like topic. And there's also like a Japanese vocabulary quiz section, which I'm gonna explore today and maybe learn a word or two from it. So this is what the homepage looks like on PC. It looks a little different on the iPad. Can I get this without hearing it? Sono mama.
Sono mama.
Sono mama? Okay, period. The word for big. 큰. 뭔데요?
大きな
오기나. 금지. 단어 모릅니다. And why not just try the quiz, I suppose? 오기나 큰. 금지. Which one was it? This? Okay. 명. Oh no, not this one. 오기나이 is 큰. This? Ah! 나이요리. Joke. Period, I guess. Okay, let me try to write this by memory. O is this. Oki is this. Okina. My attempt at writing from memory.
大きな
No, I was wrong. Okay. Okay, so O twice. O, Okina. This is what the N5 vocab list looks like. 가족은 가족. It's 가족. So I guess this could be very useful for learning vocab. And since I'm studying Japanese and Korean, and it's going to give me the definitions in Korean, if I don't know something Korean, I can later learn it too. It's a great way to build vocabulary in both languages. At least that's what I believe. So that's very exciting. Alright, so the next thing that I want to complete is one chapter or one lesson from this textbook. It's called Mina no Nihongo Soku. Anyways, on TikTok and online, I've seen really good reviews for this. And then after skimming through the first lesson, I realized that there's no English, it's just Japanese, which is something I'm trying to work towards, just learning Japanese to Japanese, as I said. So I thought it'd be a good textbook to try out and see if I can learn something from it. I did find a PDF of it online, but the website also has the audio for free and it's downloadable if you need them.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。佐藤さん、こちらはマイク・ミラーさんです。はじめまして、マイク・ミラーです。アメリカから来ました。どうぞよろしく。
佐藤恵子です。どうぞよろしく。
I am truly not completely sure what is going on in this section. I'm going to assume this is like some grammar maybe? America, Nihon, what is this? I still have trouble reading katakana. Kaishain. I don't know. Nihon is in one. Obviously. I think there's a book I'm missing to supplement this, but this is another activity.
お名前は
제 이름은 This is my attempt at one of the activities. 미국 사람이에요. 아메리카진 desu ka? So for this last activity, they basically ask you a question at the end about the small conversation they just had, and you either write the X or the circle depending on the statement they said at the end or question they said at the end is correct. The second activity, all I heard was Ohayo gozaimasu, and I saw a picture of the sun and people say hello, so I circled it. So I think you're supposed to circle it depending on what the conversation or the topic is about. And then the first activity is them saying different phrases for you to write out. It's gonna force me to learn katakana and hiragana better. It's gonna force my handwriting to get better, and then I'm actually gonna get things stuck in here without using too many outside sources. So that's fun. I like it. But right now I am quite hungry. I did not eat breakfast. I just woke up and started studying. So I'm gonna go eat some breakfast, and while I'm eating breakfast, I'm gonna listen to a Japanese podcast. I may not understand anything, but still gonna listen to it. The Cube Chicken Race. Today's podcast, also available on Apple Podcasts. Did another listen through to see if I can pick up anything. Twice! And this reads, Douka shimashitaka. I finished my breakfast/lunch, and now I'm going to continue my studies. The podcast was the end of my studies for Japanese. I wanted to maybe write some phrases that I may use in the future, but honestly, I don't even think I understood most of what she said. No, I know I didn't understand most of what she said. And so I want to go through the podcast at a later date and like really focus in on it, try to see if I can learn anything from it and just do that for today. But today, I'm done with Japanese and we're gonna get started with Korean. So for Korean, I don't have as many things on my list to do. It just takes longer to do. I want to get right into it, try to finish ASAP so I can go take a nap because I am not feeling well. I don't know. Alright, to switch my head from the Japanese mindset to now just Korean, I've decided that I'm going to watch or finish watching the episode of Penthouse I'm currently watching. I've been rewatching Penthouse a lot because it's like one of my favorite dramas. And so I am currently on season 3, episode 2, and I'm going to finish the rest of the episode, and then after that, I have a little podcast that I want to work with, so we'll get into that. But anyways, now I'm gonna start with some active studying, and the first thing I'm gonna do is the podcast that I mentioned earlier, and I'm just gonna listen to one episode. I'm gonna listen to it once through without doing anything, no notes or nothing, just listen. The second time around, I'm gonna listen and try to transcribe some stuff, pick up some vocab. Third time around, I'm going to listen again. I'm gonna take notes to later write a summary in my own words. The episode I'm listening to, the game I will play while I listen. Now I'm going to re-listen, but this time I'm going to try to transcribe what she's saying, basically. We'll see how it goes. Just realized she had a YouTube channel for this. Here's my first attempt. I've listened to it a couple of times. I cannot pick up some of these words, so I'm gonna check it out on here. 취미생활에 대해서 이야기해보려고 해요. I heard this. 안녕하세요. 제 첫 번째 팟캐스트의 제주로 취미생활에 대해서 이야기해보려고 해요. 여러분 코로나 총과 that's the word. 총과 후에. This time I did my summary by hand a bit. I'm gonna correct it later during like a different study day. But now I'm gonna look up these words that I wrote down. It's either I figure out how to read these definitions and understand, or use context clues. There's like a thesaurus type section. Wow, you can learn so much from this. 활동하다. 운칙하다. It's similar to 운동하다, so let's work out. Looking up these words to find out the definitions in Korean, not easy. My first time doing it, it's not gonna be easy. And then trying to look up the words that are in the definition and getting more words that you don't know, very stressful. Writing down the context in which I heard the vocabulary words will really help when trying to figure out what definition is which. And so I'm gonna work on this podcast again tomorrow. But as for now, I am done with this podcast and I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which is some reading. So I've been reading this Korean book called 이런 고민 좀이야, and it's basically a book about this chick who's in college, is having a crush for the first time on a guy. The guy's name is H, as far as I know so far. I'm on chapter 9. I do want to go back and reread the first 2 chapters to see if I actually understood, or if I'm just reading just to read. But today I'm going to read 1 chapter, highlight words that I don't know, but I'm only gonna write down 5 of them so I can try to learn through context. Definitely through context, because definitions is not gonna help. Once I'm done reading, I plan on writing a summary for it, so that's the plan for that. So let's get started on that. This is the book cover. It's actually book 3 of the 다 괜찮아 series. I've only seen this one so far. I'll look for the others. And now I'm gonna read chapter 9. Sometimes out loud, sometimes in my head. Okay, sir. 누나 내가 얼마나 아들한테 I don't know what this means. 아무 때나 돈 필요하면 말해요. This book is a little cute. I don't know. Bruh? This? Oh, right here. It says, I was reading this. Okay. 누나 뭐해요? 나 맑음이에요. 도서관에서 공부하다가 집에 가는 길인데 누나 생각나서 연락했어요. Okay, 맑음이. 맑음이 is 돈 필요하면 언제든지 말하는 남자다. H is the I gave you a call and he's like 누구세요? Whatever. I reread chapters 1 through 9. Well, more like I skimmed through chapters 1 through 8 and then I just read chapter 9 so I could take some notes so I could see who is who, because I kept forgetting. I thought H and 맑음이 were the same person for a second, but they're not. They're just different people, and I just realized. At first, this is the summary that I wrote, and then I wrote a better summary on my iPad. Where there's the words that I had to look up, and then the rest is just me. Alright, so for the last thing that I'm going to do today is some grammar review. I'm gonna start with Vitamin Korean or Vitamin Hangugo book 3, and then I'm going to go through the grammar list. I'm gonna highlight things I know for sure and know how to use for sure, things I'm unsure of, and then things I don't know. And I'm gonna start with the things I'm unsure of and then learn the things that I don't know throughout the summer. Alright, so to review the grammar in this book, I've decided that I'm just gonna go through it in order. For the grammar points that I do already feel comfortable with, I will just do some quick example sentences to make sure I still know how to use them. And then for the ones I don't, I'm gonna spend about a day or 2, probably mostly a day, because I pick up grammar points pretty easily. It's just remembering them later. So I'm gonna probably focus on it for a day, and then throughout the week, I try to use it in as many example sentences as I can. Hopefully I can finish book 3 in 2 weeks-ish, and then then continue to use the grammar points, because I want to make like a document or page that has all like the grammar points that I've learned and examples that I've made using those grammar points. That's what I want to do. I kind of just want to make like a big document where I do that. I don't know if it's gonna be by hand yet or if it's gonna be on digital, but it's gonna happen. Oh my god, my legs are in pain. But anyways, I'm done with my studies for today, at least for you guys. I'm probably gonna go do some more reading and stuff like that, because what else would I do? Actually, I have a lot of things to do, but like, yeah, I love languages. I love reading too, so I probably will read a book too. I have a couple things to do as well, so I need to go get those done. But anyways, this is where I'll end this video. If you watched any part of this video, I really appreciate you. Let me know how your studies are going if you've made it this far. I do want to be way more consistent for the next couple months. April was pretty consistent, to be honest. May was a bad month for me, but now I'm hoping I'm like consistent from this week, because I did study, well, last week I should say. Last week until like the end of summer. We'll just watch less TikTok and then more content on like YouTube and Netflix and stuff, so I can get more of my target languages in. I also have been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, especially for Japanese. Even I don't understand, I just listen. I also have music playlists now for all of my languages. They're very helpful. I used to have all of them in like one playlist, but now I separate them back into different playlists. If I want to listen to just Japanese music one day, I'll listen to just Japanese music. I usually listen to a lot of Korean music. Korean music has a soft spot in my heart, so I listen to Korean music a lot. It makes me feel, especially like the ones that I used to listen to when I was younger, like 2016 and before. I listened to a lot. I'm talking about like Overdose, which is like 2014, I believe, if I remember correctly. That's around the time I got into EXO, and EXO is the reason why I even got into like Korean music. My first K-drama didn't come until later, because for a while I was just listening to K-music. I didn't discover K-dramas until like 2015, 2016-ish. 2015, I believe, because one of the first K-dramas that had me stressed out and like using on-demand Korea to watch, even if the subs weren't updated yet, was I Have a Lover. The main character I have beef with to this day. I see him in other dramas and he's like fine, and I'm like, ugh, I remember when you did this. I forgive him. There's nothing to forgive. It's just a show. But like, it irked me that much. Imagine you're watching a drama. The drama had like 52 episodes, and I think it was like either 2 episodes a week or 1 episode a week. I don't remember. But I used to come home right after school, go on demand Korea, even though there was no subs, and then just watch it. And that's when I started watching K-dramas without subs, and then I went back to using subs for a while, and then I went back to not using subs, and then to this day I still don't use subs in English. I use Korean subs, but I don't use subs in English. With all the visuals and the background knowledge that I do have, gets pretty easy to understand. And then I usually like to watch the ones that I enjoy a couple more times, so as I watch it more and more, I understand more and more. Like I was recently watching 60 Day President. I don't know, whatever it's called in English. I know it's called Designated Survivor in English, but the Korean version I don't remember what it's called. Designated Survivor is a good show, by the way. That show is based off of Designated Survivor. I love political shows. I'm going on this 6-minute rant at the end of my video. To anyone who wants to watch, you can. I'll put like timestamps, timeline thingies, whatever it's called, so you can watch whatever part of the video you want. I'll figure out how to edit this video too, so I make it fun and engaging while also helpful in a way. Maybe it can help you learn a new vocab or vocab word or two, maybe a new grammar point that you didn't know that you need to know now. Who knows? But anyways, like I said before, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.